Hey friends, you're listening to Why This, a podcast where a couple of food scientists learn why people love the things they love. Today's topic, pickleball. Welcome to Why This, as always brought to you by DraughtLab. DraughtLab helps food and beverage producers improve the taste and quality of their products with best-in-class sensory software, tools, and training. Visit DraughtLab.com to learn more or reach out to us on social media if you're interested in becoming a better taster. I'm your host, Lindsay Barr, with my co-host, Matt Conyer, who I think thought up today's topic. Is that right?
Yeah, and this one's a little bit different because it's not food related, despite the fact that pickles in the name. We talk about kitchens and service and other stuff, but still not food. This one came up because I was out visiting one of our customers that runs a taste panel, and the conversation was all about a new brewery that was going to be opening across town, and they're going to be co-located with a pickleball club membership, like court venue. And the first thing that we all realized was none of us really knew what pickleball was. We knew that it was a thing and it was popular, but we didn't know any details. So I brought this up. Lindsay, we talk about it. And like most things, you happen to just know somebody that understands this topic more than the average human.
Yeah. So as we were talking about this, I'm like, I have a friend. I back in the day, I was running the sensory program at New Belgium Brewing Company. And our guest today, we met at New Belgium when I was at New Belgium. And recently I was judging the Great American Beer Festival, GABF, I guess a couple of years ago, and we had the chance to catch up. And during our conversation, she mentioned to me that she was getting really into pickleball. Little did I know how serious she was. So it became very obvious that she was quite a serious pickleball player. So I'm really excited to learn more. So today we are joined by my friend and our guest, Joanna Laubscher. By day, she is the community marketing manager at New Belgium Brewing Company. And by night, she's an aspiring pickleball professional. She also teaches, and she's a pickleballer. So Joanna, what's your relationship with pickleball?
Oh my gosh, my relationship. Weirdly not complex in any way. That's why it's so awesome. Um, I just I think it was right before COVID. I was that person that like went to the community center with a whole bunch of 80-year-olds, picked up a ball, picked up a paddle, and I was like, my life is forever changed. I'm gonna be a pro. And I don't know why that was my first thought. I have no experience in the sport. Um, but I just immediately fell in love with it. So my like relationship is all love, no hate, and that is probably one of the reasons I love it. It brings nothing but joy to my life.
Man, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you go
There's
wrong?
not a lot of things like that in your life where it's all good.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you came up with your top 3 reasons. So we asked Jo to come up with her top 3 reasons why pickleball is a thing that people love and are passionate about. So I want to get right into it. So hit us with your first reason. What's your first reason why people love it?
Like honestly, it's pretty simple, but it's like the easiest sport you can possibly play. Like that's why I love it because anybody like you go by a set of pickleball courts and there are literally 80-year-olds out there and there are 5-year-olds out there and you can be in shape, you can be out of shape. And so I think that is absolutely one reason why I love it and like why everybody loves it is because there's really no barrier to entry. And anybody can do it. You can go to a park, you don't have to have a ton of money. Like it's just easy and it's accessible, honestly.
I've heard so many comparisons to this sport as to what it is. I've heard that it's like tennis, but slower and smaller. I've heard that it's ping pong, but bigger. I've heard that anybody can do it from all the sides. So are all those things true?
I mean, yeah, probably. Like, I mean, for sure. Like, if I did grow up with, like, I was an athlete, my whole growing up, and I played tennis, and I played a whole bunch of sports. But, so yeah, of course, you have an advantage if you have some racket, sports in your history. But it is like, I mean, think about if you went to a ping pong table, like anybody can play it. You might kind of suck at it, but you can do it, and it's super fun. I mean, I think another reason it's so awesome is because like anybody can have like I've been smoked by people that you're like, how the heck did that lady just smoke me? Like, she's 90 years old and she just ripped one by me. And so anybody of any ability can have these like ridiculously amazing good shots. And you're just like, this is why this game is so good. Like, who would have thought that that guy over there could even hit the ball?
I had a moment when I was younger and my dad asked me to play racquetball with him. So, tennis in a big room. And I thought because I was a lot younger, I was going to be able to just like run around him in circles. He stood in the middle of the court and just put the ball in all these different places. He didn't have to run. And I was sweating profusely because he was so good at it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's one of my favorite things is like when I mean, there's a million memes, online now and everything, but like, is like the 24-year-old guy that like walks up and he's like ripped and he's like, no brainer, like I got this. And the 80-year-old guy who's like, I've been playing this for 17 years. All I have to do is put it here and here and here and just watch you run around and look like an idiot. And I love that because it happens all the time.
Right. And is the scoring pretty simple? I know in tennis, it's a whole new language to score the game. Is it the same thing or is it simple?
Learning how to score pickleball, I was like, I feel like an idiot. Like, why can I not keep this straight? But so no, it's actually not easy at all.
Yeah, that's the one thing that maybe isn't super simple and accessible is the scoring. You still have to learn a new language and brush up on your algebra skills.
Yeah. And for some reason in pickleball, it's impossible to remember the score because I won't get into the details of it, but like, you're so intensely into a point and everybody comes back and is like, does anybody know what the score is? No one has any idea. There's usually always one person that's like, yeah, it's 9-2-2. You're like, okay, good thing you showed up because I would have no idea what the score is.
So there's 3 scores?
Yeah.
You just blew my mind right there. I don't need to know more, but there's 3 scores.
I saw Matt's face just like drop a little, like, what the heck is going on here? Yeah.
I don't know if we have time to get into that, but my interest is definitely piqued. I'll be Googling it later. All right. So number 1 is it's pretty accessible except for the scoring. What is your second reason?
One of my favorite things is that it actually makes you feel like you're a kid again because I can't remember the last time as an adult that I had something that every time I play it, I'm like, I'm just like having a good time. Like, and then you're like making all these friends, it's just, I really, really don't know anything that makes you feel like that, Yeah.
So the injury thing was something that we were curious about because you get people that are older and younger and doing this and it's so accessible, yet there has to be injuries. But what you said makes a lot of sense. It's because you get so into it, you just way overextend yourself. So it's kind of like it's on you if it happens.
I think it's a lot of people like, I was like 42 or I don't know, whatever, like these people that are in their 40s, that were like, maybe were athletes and they're like, I'm good, and that's kind of those are the people that are getting hurt because they aren't like maybe stretching before and after. And like, you can't really get away with that anymore. But, or the people that just think that it's the be all. I'm not kidding. This guy I played with the other night, like I was like, dude, what happened to your arms? And they're just like completely scratched. He's like, I had to go for it. I dove. I'm like, you're a 40-year-old man. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? But
that confidence that you get from just like the excitement of playing with your friends on the playground can almost turn into this like false bravado and turn into injuries. And that's where we see it kind of get dismantled a little.
Yeah. It's pretty consistent, actually. Yeah.
All right. So second reason done. How about your third reason?
I mean, it is fun. And I really actually think that going back to like, there's no other time in your life you feel like a kid. I think it's just, especially as you get older, it's hard to make new friends. I mean, you make new friends in work and you have a hobby, but I like that it's light and I like that there's just a lot of like, really, you just have a fun time and you meet all these people. But I've also met some people that will be in my life for forever. Some like really, really good friends. And I think that's hard to do when you're, when you're a little bit older or you've had, like it's kind of fascinating and people talk about it all the time. And then you just drop all your other friends that don't play pickleball because they can't possibly understand what your life is like anymore. So, there's a give and a take.
It's like you've gone to war and nobody can understand you anymore.
No one can understand. Oh, you don't play pickleball? We cannot relate to each other.
Well, that kind of makes a lot of sense. It's this kind of Venn diagram of something that's everyone can get into, like a diverse group of people can do it. It's simple enough so that happens, but it's also engaging enough that you're not talking about other things. You can be kind of consumed by it and then have that group of people. I honestly, off the top of my head, I can't think of too many things that are like that. Wait.
Yeah, I think that's why it has spiked in, I mean, so many people, because it is kind of the trifecta of like all these things coming together that you can't, you just can't find very often.
So hold on. So let's say I show up at this brand new pickleball club and I've never done this before. What are going to be some of the things I should make sure that I do? Are there unwritten rules? If I show up wearing the wrong color, am I going to get made fun of? Like what are the do's and don'ts?
Well, I would say if you're like, a total jerk, that's a don't. Like people in pickleball are pretty open. Like there's always some people, but like showing up like your shit doesn't stink never helps anybody. But if you went to any, like gym and they had an open play for beginners, I guarantee that people will be like, hop on in, we'll show you this is how it goes. I mean, we're all beginners at one point.
Is there a pickleball Super Bowl, and where is that?
Well, funny you should mention. There is a Major League Pickleball League that's been launched, and
Okay.
the owners of the teams are people like Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Kevin Durant and like Drew Brees. He's a pretty good pickleball player, actually. I saw him play one time.
Could you beat him?
I mean, what if we threw it out there, Drew? I want to challenge you. And maybe he sees this and he's like, I heard about you. You work in New Belgium. You do a lot of pickleball stuff. And we're like, maybe we should play. Okay, maybe that's what comes from this.
Yes.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
We can make that happen.
I think I can
We're
handle
all
him.
on board.
I think I can handle him. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I definitely learned a lot. Do we want to sum it up, Matt? Do you have any synthesis to kind of get back to the team?
I learned that I got to get out and play. That's basically the thing.
Just
I mean, everything
be
about
careful.
it just sounds amazing. Yeah, I definitely would be that guy that does something stupid and injures themselves. But I'm going to have a blast doing it, so I might as well get out there and try it, get it out of the way.
And say goodbye to all of your free time.
To your life. It
To your
sounds
life.
like it's really
it's a new life. It's like pre-pickleball life and post-pickleball life. It's what's going to happen to you.
Let's wrap up the last episode of Why This, Lindsay, because apparently I'm not doing this anymore.
Well, this was a lot of fun. I'm excited to go play pickleball as well. Your excitement is infectious, and it does sound like it's a lot of fun. So I want to get into it. So thank you so much for coming on, Joanna. Where can people learn more about you, find you, learn more about pickleball?
I mean, Google is a really good resource. So if you Google, you'll find a lot out there, and you can see some of the things. And if you really wanted a lesson, just get in touch. I charge $7,000 an hour. So no, wouldn't that be great? Yeah, just get out there. It's so fun. Everyone should at least try it. Listen, maybe you don't like it, and that's okay. But it's pretty rad.
And Drew Brees, come on, man. You've been challenged. Get on it.
Challenge extended.
Well, thanks again for being here. Why This is produced by the team at DraughtLab, where we help companies demystify consumer experiences through flavor analysis. To learn more, reach out through our website. And of course, like, subscribe, do all the things you need to do to stay a part of the conversation. Thanks for being here.
I can already tell you would kick my ass at this.
So I would. It's one thing I've gained some confidence in. I feel like I can say, yeah, I'd probably kick your ass.